Previously on Viltrakis Design Build.
He said, you know, oh man, that'd be so cool if you came and worked with me.
I feel like we pretty well pulled the rug out from underneath Russell.
Sorry, Russell.
Nevin came in and just said, well, Joey and Alex are gone. And I said, that's funny. And he's like, no, seriously, they're gone. What do you mean they're gone? Friesen's vision was always to provide people with homes and the homes that they want. And custom homes was the beginning of that vision, but then it evolved into other types of homes that, again, that were more affordable, reaching more people. And so manufactured homes became a second division of the company, third actually. At that time, those really started to take off, and the custom home building side was still pumping, still a very vibrant, vital part of the company. Right when I made the decision to move out to Coffee Creek and design and sell remotely, which is very, very possible, very viable. It wasn't a week later, out of the blue, our incredible foreman decided to stop, to quit, and to go and do his own company. And it was, like I said, out of the blue. And that's such a vital part of a custom home building company. The amount of talent, the type of guy that you need in order to run that crew, create that, that home is just really hard. And we had been through many foremans over the years, and the process of finding the right guy and training him in the Friesen way and having results and getting the longevity is really difficult. And I think it was the next day Russell came in and said, I had an idea in the middle of the night. I think I might try to sell the company. And I was like, well, that's a great idea. Well, but who could buy it? And he said, I think I'm gonna give Joey a call. And I said, Joey Viltrakis?
Oh, dude, a black chalk line on a black chalk line, it'll show up like a son of a gun.
Yeah, right.
Dude, we need that lifter fork up here.
I was excited to work with Priyanka Chopra Jonas to create this one-of-a-kind, delicious blend, which has all the great salty and sweet flavors of the Rob's original. Rob sounds like a traditional Indian name.
It does. It does taste like legit, like Indian spices.
Once I thought about it more, I understood why Russell wanted to reach out to Joey first. Joey was the best option for a few reasons. You know, he worked with the company for a few years, and we knew him as a guy, you know, what kind of person he was. And then he went out with Alex and they started going after it. And he said from the beginning he wanted to give us competition at some point.
How do you not just walk towards the camera with a very intentional walk? A jazzercise walk. We're gonna be cutting some studs. Am I even holding the mic? Cutting custom studs. Custom stud length. Ooh, listen to those sounds. Oh, that's not gonna work. That truck smells like my grandpa's boat.
Holster.
Joey and I were heading out to a job in Ferndale that was actually a friend of Russell's. And we got on the freeway off of Highway 36 onto 101. We saw Russell driving around Fortuna. Russell calls Joey. Russell just says, "Hey Joey, what are you doing?" And Joey says, "Oh, we're going to take care of that, friend of yours, whatever, that job that you were hoping for us to do." And Russell says, "Oh, well, what are you doing for lunch?"
The lunch with Russell after the phone call about wanting to talk business was a emotional roller coaster for me, because I was kind of psyching myself up for this cool framing opportunity to maybe frame their garages or their decks for them on their manufactured homes. As a newer business owner, you need stability. You need expected work or want expected work, and that's a lot of what takes people out, is not knowing what they're doing next week and cracking under pressure. And so for me, the idea of like, man, these guys sell all these manufactured homes, they'll have a reason to then sell them with decks and with garages. if we just do this many per month, then we could just fill in our other work. And just my mind was spinning with all the different things. And when he started to tell me a little bit about what had transpired, but ultimately just said that he's considering selling and wanted to make sure that his dream, his baby, got passed on to someone who was going to grow it the way he wanted it to grow. And the part that like touched my heart, if you want to say that, is that he put a lot of emphasis on the customer treatment. He really, really wanted it to go to someone who was going to treat customers the way he thinks they should be, which is roll out the red carpet for them, make a clean job site, make it the best experience they ever had. I remember talking to Michelle about how crazy it was that the company that I was, coming up from and out from, that I was just barely scratching the surface of maybe competing with one day, is all of a sudden the company that I'll be purchasing and taking over and whatever. And obviously she's like the most supportive person ever, and I could not do any of this without her.
Ready? I'll say 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift.
He was so blown away. I don't even think he had like words. And he was like, something happened today. And I think the way that it was worded, I was like concerned. But when he told me, I just completely was lost for words. And he was completely lost for words. We were just excited and blown away. And he was really honored because, it was obviously something that he did want to truly consider every aspect and not just jump on it because he's excited, but think it through thoroughly. And so I feel like before he just let himself jump on the boat of like being excited and like, yes, I'm gonna do this, he reeled it back in to slow things down and really think about, all aspects of it. But in that, had decided that regardless of his final decision, that he just was really honored because he thinks really highly of the Friesens and Russell, and just really honored that they would call and ask him that.
This whole business purchase and all that is not possible without a good partner. I'll never know because it didn't happen without a good partner, but I don't ever want to find out what that's like to try to do something that was that stressful and that monumental and that crazy, because there's no doubt that since then and during that time, it's stinking hard to be a business owner, and it's hard during COVID, and it's tough for a million other reasons that everyone else knows and don't need to sob on about it. But if you don't have some key things in place to keep your head screwed on straight, then it will come off. And thankfully mine didn't, or if it did, she helped put it back on. But yeah, it wouldn't have been as pretty without Michelle in the picture.
When you're the guy and you've got to deal with that amount of stress, you've got to have your life in order. You have to have your relationship with your family, relationship with your God, a relationship with your time off. You have to have it very balanced, or as I've heard it said, it can feel like you're holding on to a cliff and there's the weight of the world pressing down on you, trying to force you off the cliff. I've seen a happy Joey through this process of building this house. When I talk to him, when I've seen him at Christmas parties, he seems happy, his wife seems happy, kids are running around happy. That's what you gotta have, and that's kind of the indicator of whether or not he's handling it well or not, and of course with a happy customer.
When they said, hey, you know what, we know this young man, he in fact worked with us at the beginning and went out on his own, and we've been watching him and seeing how he's developed, and he's done a great job, and we have all the confidence in him. I felt I think I said it that way too. I said, hey, if you guys have a lot of confidence in him, then I do too.
Well, we can mark some of that stuff off. Theater wall, done. Hallway wall, done.